This is a D2 video, just not the one you were probably expecting.
Baby, wake up. Salvation just posted.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need to get this off my chest. I love Strega, the witch gun. Yeah, that joint, right? And I wanted to have a build. There was one problem. Everyone and their damn mothers was posting Strega plus negotiators. And while I understand the appeal of that combo, my goat said otherwise. So I decided to make my own fun out of it. And what I decided was basically bring Hunter's Fury into the mix and, be make it to the combo I feel like Negotiators wishes it was. Yeah, something like that. We're gonna start off with the star of the show, Strega, right? And keep in mind, I'm clearly not Shave 1,000, right? And I'm only expertise 4, so numbers are definitely gonna vary. I imagine when you're 1,000, you have quite literally everything min max and stuff. It's gonna hit even harder. We'll get to like how the stats are looking, what I'm dealing with right now, right? So, Strega, right? Killing an enemy will apply a mark on every enemy within 20 meters of it. Multiple marks can be applied to the same enemy. Yeah, cool. Max number of marks that can be applied to an enemy is 5. Cool. All marks on an enemy will disappear after 10 seconds, right? Okay, whatever, fine. After the last one has been applied, deal 50% amplified damage per mark to enemies, right? So we need to get one thing clear off the rip with this exotic. It is an on kill talent. It demands a kill before we get rolling. Okay, cool. So I was like, my first thought was, okay, I wanted to hit hard immediately, and that's where Hunter's Fury comes in to help to give it a little oomph. You know what I'm saying? So, oh no, my fault. So with Hunter's Fury, right? We're not too worried about the 2-piece, whatever. I mean, if you want to use SMG, I mean, there you go, right there. But we're too busy with everything else, right? 3-piece, you get the 20% armor on kill and the 50% health. You get a little more because of firewall, but we'll get into that in a minute. And the meat and potatoes of it is Apex Predator, when enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. So we're already helping the Strega before we even get a kill, which I personally like, right? And then you get a little 5 meters of CC and amplifies the weapon damage by 5%, which carries over to buffing the Strega as well. Which means if you're spawn camping some niggas, you're gonna be doing some damage. Now, and we're rocking on the mask, gloves, knee pads, and holster. Why? Well, mainly because I want to get a use out of the chest piece and the backpack. We're gonna be using a Grupo Obliterate. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? We're gonna be using a Grupo Obliterate for that 30% crit damage, and as you can see, I mean, it's not the best. It's definitely, it could be higher. Like, cut me some slack. I'm getting there. And we're going to be using Obliterate. Critical hits with the total weapon damage. Increases total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds. Stacks up to 20 times. So what I want to do, what the point of this build is to get Strega to be already rolling the minute you get into a gunfight and you get within range of a gunfight. And then once you get that said on kill, you get a bunch of things going on. You get the CC, you get extra little damage, and you get the bonus damage from Strega itself. However, you don't always need to be in range because of Apex Predator. Getting a kill from the Apex Predator perk to spread the 5 meters of CC as is, as well as get the armor and health on kill, can do just wonders already. I feel like with a build like this, you can really take it on any range. Honestly, I don't even think it's just a build. I think it's just that's just how good Hunter's Fury is altogether. Hunter's Fury, damn, bro. And we're gonna be using a Cheska backpack. Once again, I'm so sorry for the stats. Look, cut me some slack. But we're gonna be pairing it with Unstoppable Force, where killing an enemy increases total weapon damage by 5% for 15 seconds. It stacks up to 5 times, which like I said, amplifies the power of how powerful Strega can be on its own. And don't get me started on like something like say like Dark Winter or something. It's actually crazy. But in a scenario with Strega, where we're gonna be spreading like we're gonna be CCing, getting like extra damage, building the stacks, and on top of like all that, we're having extra weapon damage on its own. Oh, dude, we're kind of cooking. Why am I using Firewall? For two reasons. One, extra health on kill, right? Cool. Things can get a little sticky, you know, especially if like you're like me, you get a little too tunnel vision. You know, I'm acting like I'm one of the big leagues, and I'm not that good. I'm sorry, but we're also going to be using the Striker Shield, and if I remember correctly, yeah, right here, the Striker Shield boosts the damage of the user and allies behind it based on the number of enemies in front of the shield. And since I'll usually just have it out before I'm in an engagement, assuming I have it. Well, cool. I get even more damage to start the engagement off. Hell yeah! It's really. I feel like something like this is what people really thought negotiators would be, and I understand the appeal of negotiators, but in my opinion, as cool as it sounds on paper, what the videos I've seen, it just doesn't really work for me. It's like for my Destiny people, it's like if you try to take an idea of Necrotics plus Osteo, but like it just doesn't work all the way. Think of it like that, you know what I'm saying? But this is just kind of like how I kind of have everything set up to be, and with the gameplay in the back, I mean, it definitely can work. It's probably not the best, but this is so far like my favorite way of running Strega. You know, aside that, you know, never mind the fact that like I'm not using strikers or anything. This is just something generally fun, and I think like okay, it can definitely put in work. You know, I can definitely slay out, and it's not bad for a solo setting. You just gotta be a little more mindful with certain things. But then again, this is where it reinforces the idea where it's like you don't always have to play that said 15 meters, because well, you always, when you get a kill, you'll always get the armor and health on kill, as well as the CC, providing that people are close enough within the 5 meters of the CC, or even just that, you have 20 meters of stacking damage, so that's even, you'll be fine regardless of range. And as far as my stats right now, it's not the best, but for what I have right now and what I'm doing with what little few slots I have, I'm rocking with a 53% crit chance and 124% crit damage. This is with my crit chance being all the way filled out and my crit damage not necessarily being there. As a matter of fact, I can just show you right now. This is currently where I'm at. I just kind of just been farming that last Brooklyn mission to try and get the Kallage just to have it, but this is what we're working with right now. It's just what it is. We'll get there when we get there. But that's basically it. And honestly, I think you should give this a go if you want to. If you want to something a little different from Hunter's View, you don't want to just run around with an SMG. It can put in the work, and I'm definitely not saying this is like the optimal way, but I definitely feel like this helps out Strega a lot more than it just being like you know, whatever it is it's trying to be, especially with the fact that it has 40 bullets in the mag. Can we fix that? Like, can we buff it to at least have 50? Like, it's killing me. It's genuinely killing me. But that's really it. Nothing really exciting or crazy in my humble opinion. Something I thought I should put out, because I don't really see many people like really go in depth about well, it's not really that in depth, but it's mainly just hunters, but you know, get the idea of like what's supposed to be happening out there to the people. This is the kind of how I run it, just being like mad aggro, and sometimes that gets me killed. But I mean, if I just gotta play a little smarter, get my positioning better, and it definitely delivers. This definitely really enhances my enjoyment of Strega. But that's really about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening to me yap. And it's 5:30 in the morning, and it's my birthday. So yeah, good night, and thank you.